Hello, 910. Nice to meet you. Okay, let's see, can we get a win for the first video? I think I'll check this. I think it's important going to poker with a strategy, more so than looking at the cards you're dealt. 910, good for limping in. And now I can call this. They probably are telling me to have a jack, even if I have an 8. I think I'm pretty good. Not as good now because a 10 queen beats me. So I'm going to just give it up. Because the only thing I can really guarantee winning with would be a 7. Then I have 7, 8, 9, 10 jack. But the problem is, it couldn't be a 7 of spades or a 7 of hearts, because then I'd be worried that someone has hearts or has a flush. So basically I only have 2 outs. I've got music playing in my ears, so if you hear me singing, I'm just singing along to that. If you hear me slurping at, and I've got an old coffee and a little cup of water here. A bottle of water, rather. I'm going to fold. Queen 7 is like the 50-50 hand. So Queen 6 is less than 50%, so no thanks. I hope you all enjoyed Monday's video. Sorry about the quality of it. It's my bad, really. I know what I did wrong and how to get the picture clearer, so it'll be better on Friday, the conclusion. I hope you enjoy content like that. Like, it's just really handy to be able to practice flops and stuff and put people in ranges and see, like, basically just, I know you have an A7, and then, like, you win then because you know whether to fold or not. I'm gonna, again, just call this. No need to raise it up. Disguises, if an ace comes up, I can bet. If someone else raises, I can call the raise. Unfortunately, it does allow people to limp in if they have a 2-3, for example. But because I'm on the button and no one's raised in, I'm going to just raise it up half pot. Pretty average raising size. And they all folded. I'll take that. Ace 10. It's suited, so I'll call this raise. If hearts come out, I'm in a seriously good place. And I have the highest thing on the board. I'm going to bet because I don't want anyone to follow me with diamonds. I'm going to fold because I assume someone must have diamonds or 2 6s. They must have a pair of 6s in their hand. And we both fold, so we'll never find out. But that's a good fold, I think. Difficult one, I really didn't want to do that. But it's about protection, minimize that loss. And then attack when you definitely have something really good. 5, 6, 7. Ooh, I would have had high pair. This guy or girl is a wild better. Seems to just bet the flop no matter what. Ooh, I enjoy this song. Ooh, an ace. Oh, I'll try to leave these cards up for you, sorry. And we've got a winner. So they seem to fold a lot to aggression. Even though they are the aggressor, they seem to fold a lot to aggression. So it's kind of an interesting strategy, I guess. I'll keep betting at you until you attack back. And then I will definitely fold. Unless I have something. In which case, I have something, so you can just fold. So keep raising my bets, so I keep giving you loads of money. And then when I finally attack back, I barely win anything from you. Early on, blinds are 20 at the minute. People are lumping in hundreds. There's plenty of time later on to lump in hundreds. Just relax, Why is everyone trying to win on, the first hand? Did they not enjoy the game, I would actually fold to any raise, even a raise like that. I don't mind. It's fine. Take it. I had very little. Like, I'd have to get a really good flop for that specific hand for it to be in any way good. Like ace, or ace 8-8 would be a great one, because they could bluff at the ace, but I'd have an 8. Changing my name. What else am I going to say? Yeah, Friday I'm going to have that video up conclusion. It's going to be better quality than Monday. I'm going to limp in here because they're connected and they're suited. So 2 is not what I wanted to see. 2 2s, no thanks. Here comes the bet. Oh, no bet. Now, does that mean they're slow playing something that they have? First out, I'll raise it up to 60. I'll get someone to fold anyway, for sure. Oh, can I start the fountain? The fountain of folds. Usually if you get the first person to fold, the others afterwards will just fold. I don't know why that is. But if the first person calls, then the others call as well. Limping. I'll just limp. Well, this guy has a decision, and the decision is to make this guy fold. Wow. They probably had like an ace 9 or something. Or maybe a pair like 10s, 6s, something like that. They got bet at though, and they're raising. And now there's an ace. Would I be good with the ace? Hard to know. I wouldn't like to be in this pot with an ace 3. Like, my best kicker's on the board. Wow. That was interesting. That person raised, like, when there was no need to, before the flop. They could have seen a free flop, but they decided to raise. So that could easily have been ace king. Even though I had an ace, so it's less likely to have one, doesn't mean it's impossible. So they actually could have had an ace king there and just been dominating from the start. Wow. Backdoor flush. Need a 9. 4 would be better though, because it stops anyone having. Ooh, ho, ho, man. Wow, I could possibly have a run of clubs, but I wouldn't call that to see it, and that's why. You rarely hit your run. If you're ever looking for a run, you have like a 30% chance of hitting it on the turn when there's 2 cards left, and you have a 16% chance of hitting it on the river. So I would have had to go all in for a 16% chance of winning. It's like, no thanks. You can keep your old cards there now. I'm folding because those odds are not in my favour in any way whatsoever. And the guy had 9-10, right? So, oh, they needed 8 for the run, so they only had a pair of 10s. Interesting to call all in with that. And that's fine. I'm still in it. Yeah, they won that pot. And there's probably, like, I could possibly win this pot with the ace, pair of aces. But if one of these wins, yeah, pair of 10s, 10, jack, queen, no, they had to run, so I would have been beaten there. But I'm just saying, even if I had have won that, it doesn't matter that I'm not in it, because someone is getting short stacked and it ain't me. And it's early in the game. I don't need to be measuring stacks with anyone. 6, I'll bet at this because bet 40. I don't see why I wouldn't. Pair of 6s, aces is my kicker. Good kicker. If it comes out, I have 2 pairs. I'm protecting against flush draws. If someone has 2 clubs, they'll call. And if they don't get the club, then I just take down the pot. I just keep betting at it. And I'm just building up the pot for myself. That tells me they have a queen. And because I only bet 40, I'm just going to fold, get out of it. No point in being a hero. This is interesting because they could have like literally just 2 clubs and they're betting in the hopes that it'll get the other club. But if they had a queen ace, like I was in dire, like I was in an awful place. Because if the ace comes out, I'm like, yes, 2 pair, let's do this. And they're like, yes, queen ace, 2 pair, let's do this. And they just hammer me then. So there's that. I mean, it's a pretty boring brand of poker, but like it's a good strategy. A lot of people like to just keep barreling and see what's up, but I'm just here sitting back, taking in information. And, you know, getting no cards also helps. I mean, there's a couple of aces there that some people might argue, like, why didn't you just go in with the ace 3? Sure, you never know. The low flush, the low run is there. You got your ace if that comes up. You also have 2 pair if ace 3 comes up, which it just did. That's what made me think of that. But, like, it's just, I'd prefer to protect because I've been stung so many times. Like, a bizarre amount of times. Like, I had a queen and an ace, and this guy goes all in with a queen high flop. So I called, and they beat me because they had a jack and a queen. Like, they had the 2 pair, and I had the highest pair and the highest kicker. But my ace never came up, so they won. Like, okay, so I need to bet at this because a king will kill me. And has the king already killed me? It's possible. There's also a flush out there. Like, my ace is looking quite weak, if I'm being honest. And if you think it's looking weak, and I limped in, so yeah, I'm out of this. I think I limped in, right? I forget. If this guy goes all in, I don't think the other guy will call. Not an all in. They might call another raise though. Let's find out. Okay. They're tanking. That's good. They're probably going to end up folding if they're tanking. But hopefully they call and win. Yeah, the king. Yeah, good fold by me. He overbet at it, telling me, I have the king. Oh, I can't wait. I'm going to win this. Everyone's going to call this and it's going to be the best thing ever. 2 people out of the tournament. But like, when you bet like excitedly, like, oh yes, I have the nut run. And there's an ace out there. If someone has an ace, they're definitely coming with me. So I'm betting like all my money at this. No, not very good. Bet half the pot. Look like you're hoping that no one else has the king. And then I probably would have called if the bet was a lot less. Like if they bet 80 at that instead of 120. Yeah, I would have called. But the run was just there to be had. Like, it was impossible not to see it, like. And I had nothing here. Jacks win. 10-4, big buddy. Suited. Well, I didn't want to see a raise, but 2 people in. If this guy goes in, I'm in as well. If he doesn't, I'm in. But if there's a raise, I'm out. I'll call. Let's see if I can flop that. I'm only going to raise. It's unlikely for me to have the 10. So I'm doing it. And even if someone raises, I think I can call the raise. Okay, 2 people in it. That is not what I wanted to see. But let's put a 2-10 and hope they don't call. If they raise, they have the ace. It's just that simple. So I don't see this person not calling a bet. So I'm just going to check it. And if they bet big, I'm out. I'll leave myself with 7-8 chips to do something with later on. And if they check, I might win. Who knows? I don't see them checking. They're definitely... Oh! Ho ho! Look at that. I don't know what they were hoping to hit after the ace came out. Like, there's the ace. I have a jack in my hand. I better call this bet in the hopes I get my jack. Unless they were just hoping I was betting because I had the 10. And then when their jack didn't come out, they knew that I had the 10, the winner. But I would often bet in that situation with an ace in my hand. And then when the ace comes out, bet again. Because it just makes sense to build a pot when you have an ace. And if you're first to act, you get to decide the betting size. If someone raises you, well, you've told them the size you're willing to go. So if they want to raise you after that, let them. They ain't getting any more chips out of you. You just fold and it's fine. Wow, I was actually going to call this. I was going to limp in. Glad I didn't. Could I have limped in? I was going to call the raise anyway, whatever. I'm not really looking at the screen too much. I'm kind of talking to the mic. I'm going to fold this because I'm in early position. Blinds are 30, so they're after creeping up slightly, but don't need to do anything. My objective at the minute is keep my chip stack above starting stack until the blinds hit 80. Then I want to be having about 2,300. Then just keep it up like up to around 3,000 then. I fold a lot, so it makes sense for that person to bet into me. They're going to bet again. I'm going to call. No problem. I'll raise here. Right? See, I'm getting tricky now. I'm going against what they thought. So yeah, I'll bet the raise. If they call, then I'm out. Well, that was a bad bluff. That's all I can say about that. I may bet at this. There's no real other answer. Just bet and hope for a fold. Probably too weak a bet. Too easy to call. Oh ho ho! Maybe it wasn't a bad bluff. Well, would you look at that? I have way too many chips for this early in the game, so I can fold this. It's totally fine. And that, my friends, was a bad bluff. They should have known. Like, that was not, like, I guess, see, they had the ace. This is what I was talking about earlier. If you're first to act and you have the ace and you bet and they call, fine. You've dictated, this is how much I want to bet. But when they raise you and the ace still hasn't come out, then you're just better off to fold because it might not come out. Like, the odds of an ace coming out on the river when they haven't been out and you already have one. So you've 3 outs and there's only 1 card left to come. What's that, like 12%? And when there's a king out, a card that people generally would go in with and call a raise with, then, like, and you still don't have your ace, like, you'd kind of want to see it cheaper rather than betting. Like, when I said if I had an ace, I would raise. I wouldn't raise if there was, like, a king and a queen on the flop. But if it was, like, 2, 7, 9, and I have an ace, yeah, I'll bet, because the likelihood is they probably have a king or a queen. Even if they do have a pair of 9s, they'll call. Then if an ace comes... Last time I had aces, someone had a pair of 3s, and they made a set. On the flop, they made a set and they went all in. I called because I had a pair of aces, and it was literally like 3, 5, like 6, I think. Something like where they would have to have like a 2 and a 4 to get the run, or a 4 and a 7. So it just seemed very unlikely. Do I shove this guy all in or just call? A lot of people would shove here, right? But if I get stung, I get stung. I'm going to go for it. Oh no, this feels like a horrible idea. Let's find out. Again, see, look, I'm barreling money at this, like 9-9. Don't hit a 9. Don't hit a 9. Whoa, that was scary. I was really hoping they didn't call. That was pretty much an identical situation. Had aces, went all in. They hit the... Well, see, I limped in, right? this is what happened. I limped in with the aces, and then the flop came out 3, 5, 6. They suddenly went all in. No, they raised to like 500. So I was like, I have like 3,000. They have like 4,000. So I'm just going to go all in here. If they're betting 500, that means that on the turn it's going to be 1,000, and it's going to be like 1,500 to 2,000 on the river. So at this stage, I'm all in regardless. So I might as well just go all in now. And I did, and they instantly called me. They had a set of threes. So this time, instead of limping with the aces, I think I have the best hand here. Because there's no way to have an ace if just 2 out. Makes no sense. But they'll probably call in the hopes of hitting a queen or a king, which is good for me. House? Hopefully it doesn't fall. Ha ha ha. If they go all in though, king 8. See, house of 8s. So my house did fall, but I still have absolutely loads of chips. Will I raise again? Let's see, can I do this? No, I'll just call, because they might have a pair of aces now. Well, that is not what I wanted to see, but it limits the chance of him. Maybe they had an ace queen. If they have aces, I'm screwed. Jacks, I'm good. Fold. I'm going to fold now for a while. I've seen a lot of action. These eyes have seen a lot of action, man. Yeah, so anyway, back to the story. This time I got 2 8s. I raised it. I didn't want to limp in, because when I limp in, I'm allowing people with a pair of 2s, like a 4 5, to call, because they get in for free. So I'm going to fold a few bets, by the way. And I don't want to bet every single flop, or they'll just call every single time and I'll have no bluffs. Because they'll just assume every time is a bluff, and I have to hope they happen to call the one time I'm not bluffing. I believe ace high is actually good here. No point in bloating the pot unless, because they could easily have hit their 9 and they're hoping I'll bluff at. So I'll just call showdown. If they win, congratulations. If not, ace high is good. Let's find out. Ace 3, so it's a split pot. And that's okay, because the risk of them having like a king or a 9 there, it's pretty decent. Fold. Yeah, so if you can limp in with like a 4 and 5 or a 10 jack, fantastic. But if someone raises, you're not inclined to want to see a flop then, because they're after raising, so it costs you more to hopefully hit a run that happens like, what, runs are 17% of the time, is it? Like, it's just insane. So you're probably just going to fold it. So when you limp with aces, and you don't isolate the pot, you're allowing cards like a pair of 3s to come in with you, and flop a set or get a low run, and you just have a pair of aces now. That's no good. So last time I limped and failed. This time I isolated and still got called, but at least this time the aces held. Queen 3. I was just about to say I'll fold to raise here. I don't give him credit for having the ace. I would give him credit for having the 9. Maybe even a set of 4s. Likelihood of me seeing a queen. I'll call the turn, but I'm not going to call a second bet unless it's queen. And now they might have the flush, so I'm out. I limited how much I lost. I didn't call to the river going queen, queen, queen. And to be honest, I didn't even notice the 2 of those were spades. Yeah, I'm going to call, but I risk the big blind going all in. Which means if the big blind goes all in, I'm going to have to fold, so they get my 50 chips anyway. See, they're like, what, 800 chips left. And they didn't raise, so I assume they don't have jack, queen, king, or ace. The small blind, however, may. So I may get myself going. It's kind of getting to the point, though, like, blinds are at 50, where there's no point in playing speculative hands. Hands I want to play now are going to be like aces, kings, queens, jack, ace, and queen, ace, king, ace, like in betweens, pair of nines and aboves. I'll still limp with the occasional ace or the occasional like 6-7 or 9-10 or suited cards, but only if the situation is right. Like I'll never do it from first position. Like here I'll limp, obviously. Might even call one raise because it helps me bluff every so often. But only if the raise is up to 100 because I'm already in for 50, so I'm really only paying for 50 because I didn't pay this 50 in. It's just the cost of it. It gets taken automatically. Okay, I don't even need to limp in. Ace 5, another one, I'll call the big blind. And if the raise to 100, I'll call. But I won't get tricky, like. If an ace does come up, I'll bet at. Normally I won't try and lure them all in for everything. Like now I might. It just seems less likely that I would have an ace because I only called. So hopefully they'll call. They didn't. And that's okay. Look, blinds are big enough now that you want to win them. And if I raise there and they called and they had something like king ace, and I flop an ace 5 and then a king comes on the river, because they won't ever fold a king ace. And then if they happen to get their king, suddenly I'm like left in the doghouse. So 7-2, by the way, if you don't know, is the worst possible hand you can get dealt statistically, because a 2, if you flop your 7, your kicker is a 2. So basically whatever other 3 cards on the board, apart from your pair of 7s, will be your hand, because your 2 kicker won't come into it. If you get a 2, then congratulations, you have a pair of 2, like, work away, what are you going to do with that? So you literally have to flop a set of 2s, which I obviously just did, and I'm a bit sickened, but it's fine, whatever. Or, like, a set of 7s, or a 7 and a 2. You can't get a run between a 2 and a 7 because it's too many cards. It's 6 cards. You only get 5 card hands. So I would love to be obviously in this pot. Look at those chips. Oh, kind of raging. And a bet of 500,000. Wow, that would have been so cool. But this is the problem when you slow play. But the advantage is, when you do get in tricky spots where you have to make moves, people believe you more often. Check. It's quite possible with 10 high is actually the best hand here. Let's find out. Yeah, 10 high was best. I believe they would have bet a jack or a king, because they knew that if they had a jack, they'd only have to fade me having a king. No one else is in it, so I'm going to go into it. Although I'm attacking the chip leader, and that's never a good strategy. The advantage is that the other 2 people have less than 1,000 each. Going to call one street. I'll raise this up now because it makes it look like I have the 5. If they call, I'm out though. Okay. Do I bluff again? See, I don't mind giving chips to this person because they're the chip leader. Now, if this was against one of the other 2, I would be out. Like, no question. Oh, they had the 5s, and they, for some reason, were confused about calling. They were slow playing even though they were the ones to call. I guess they were trying to wonder if I could possibly call a raise of some sort. That or they were being jerks. See? All in. It's at the stage where there's 2 people at this table that will have to consistently go all in now just to stay alive. And I don't want to get involved with them. Let the chip leader do it. I'm just going to fold. They're on the small and big blinds. Hopefully this will be it. But 4 more hands left in the game. Heads up. Definitely guaranteed money. Try my best to win that. Heads up game isn't strong with me, people, so if you have any tips, that would be great. Please don't go all in. I'm going to fold. Like, I'm not in love with this hand. I'd call a raise, not that raise. And I believe that they knew that they were going to go all in, so they're going to call. Oh no, wow. Because I don't want to double them up. I'll gladly let the other person just deal with him. Every time I go against this person I end up losing. So I should be due a win, right? And that is my sole reasoning for calling this. I don't like that I'm on 2,000 chips now. Ugh. I'll call it. I got a pair of threes. I'll definitely call this. They probably have an ace. I pretty much call this down unless a 4 comes up. So I'm going to make it obviously look like I have da flush. Got myself down to 2,000 chips. Got my fold. And now I'm back up to over 3,000. Folding. Just going to keep folding. Let the two short stacks knock each other out. Blinds aren't quite high enough yet. So that, like, what I'm saying is they still have some play left. And unfortunately the blinds don't go up for 8 minutes. And a lot can happen in 8 minutes. See, would I call an all in here? Like, no, is the answer. I'm not going to risk it. I got my all in earlier and it was with aces and I was happy out. And it's stupid not to call with kings, but I've gotten stung with kings as well. Deuces never lose, huh? Should call that. Same times I've been stung so many times. Like ace jack, if they shove with ace jack and I had a pair of kings and they get their aces. Like, this is crazy. I'm assuming that the person on the right is going to be left when there's 3 of us left. But there'll still be such a short stack. I'm just going to let everyone just fight it out with themselves. Ace 10. These are such good calling hands for all-ins, but I'm not the kind to bother, to be honest. Just, this is where the patience of the game comes into it. You just got to keep folding. You've got a huge chip advantage. Keep it. Keep that huge chip advantage. Don't mess around. See, I believe they have aces now or kings. That's why they only limped, because they felt they were pretty safe. They didn't need to make a decision. They didn't need to make us make a decision before the flop, because they knew they'll still be good after it. So they only raise a little bit. That, or they think their stack size is big enough now that they don't have to go all in. These videos are probably going to be longer than the others, unfortunately. Like, you're probably, like, if you are interested in this thing, like, I don't want to just skip the game, like, skip to the good hands, because then it just gets confusing. The chip stacks just go crazy, and, like, it just gets insane. So, if you want to watch someone play poker, and you enjoy the things I'm talking about, then, like, an hour should be fine. I feel like I've watched Daniel Negreanu play for 2.5 hours in one sitting, and just listen to him talk, and, like, you know, like, oh, we're going all in. No queen, no queen, no queen, no queen. Now it gets interesting. Here comes the all in. Yeah, knew it. Oh, wow. Don't go all in. See, I don't think they'll go all in because the other person called an all in. So it's likely that they will call all ins. And I could have called all ins before and won. Like, who knows? I've had ace 10 and folded ace jack. Didn't make my set, but I've got 1 to a run. It's not bad. Oh no, sorry, I don't. I thought that was a 6 and it's an 8. Okay. I'm going to check and hope a 4 does not come out. Now I hope they have a queen. 320. Hope they call. I should have probably bet the turn, but I didn't want them to fold if they had like an ace high or something. Great. Much to the absolute dismay of the person on the right, I got like an extra 1,000 chips there, or whatever, an extra 500. An extra like 4 or 5 blinds anyway. And now, I'm chip leader? Possibly, let's find out. No! You see, this is the problem. We're calling with 4s. Yes! You're guaranteed to be dominated, but if they don't hit it, then you win. 7. I won't call an all in. I'm not that kind of person, but I'll raise it. I don't feel like going all in just yet. What's half pot? 250? We go 320. Yes. See, I raised so that I could bluff the queen because I raised pre-flop. But because they called, it kind of made me worry that they might also have it. But see, now I'll call this, and again, same situation, but reversed. If it comes high, they can obviously bet and steal the pot. But if it comes low, I just won't believe the re-raise. 400. Wow. I'll call that. This might be a bad move. Okay. See, now they're telling me, look, I have a 7, probably ace 7, or maybe a pair of queens or a pair of jacks. So they're probably hoping I'd call there. They never go all in with the hope that you'll fold. But now I know. Now I know, you see. I can't bluff the ace because I checked pre-flop, but I can bluff the 5. Blinds are going up in 2 minutes. My favourite blinds, like 100 each time. Let's go. Let's keep this train rolling. I'll raise here. I'll raise here. That way if an 8 comes up, it's unlikely I'd have it. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Easily bet at that. And that's why you raise pre-flop. And that's why you don't raise pre-flop early on in the tournament. Because then people know, oh sure, they're always raising pre-flop with whatever 2 cards they have. I'm going to call this because in heads up, you never know what'll flop. And now I need an 8. I'm going to call this 400 bet, 320 bet. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or an 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait now, what can they beat me with? If they have a 7, 8... Ah. I can't believe I lost. This sucks. They have the flush. They just have the flush. They have nothing else. They have to have the flush. Because they're not going to go all in on that unless they have a flush. And I'm going to be absolutely gutted now when I call this and lose. Here we go. That was a good game, I guess. What? Oh, that was a bluff of all bluffs. Well done, mate. I nearly folded there. They're going to go all in every hand now. But I have such a huge chip lead that I'm not going to call it all in. Unless it's on my terms. When it's on my terms and I have an ace-king, then I'll go all in. When I have an ace-ace, then I'll go all in. But you can't call these bets unless you have something, because you're such a small, like, such little chips, like. All in, I'll fold, no problem. Bring it on. Now I don't want the blind scope because I have a huge chip lead. This is so funny. If they want to go all in here, or go all in every hand, that's fine. This is a dangerous flop for me. I'm obviously calling this if they bet. See, they could have a 7 here. The 2, it was a risky card to bet on. They'll go all in, obviously. Just to win the old blinds back. But the more I play with them, like on the flop like that, if they go all in, I don't see me losing this one. They'd have to have 6 or 6 king, 6 queen. Yeah, they'd probably have like what, 2 diamonds, 4 something. They maybe have a 5, 4, 5, so they're hoping to catch something. 4, 8. I said 4, 5. They got their 8. Okay, they doubled up. Big deal. Happens. I still have chip lead. Just going to be less of an aggressive strategy here. It was a good shove by them. Like, I don't know if they should have shoved after I bet. They should have open shoved, maybe. Okay. 8, 9. They're probably waiting on a 10 or a jack. I have a 10, so they're probably waiting on the 10. They probably have a jack to hit the run. So they what? I have 9. Well, they checked, so I'm just going to check. There's no point in building the pot up in case they do have me beat with a queen. And they had the jack. So so if you want to learn how to do that, look at Monday's video. Oh, segue. Put them on hand ranges. And I had the 10, so I knew it wasn't going to come up. So I didn't mind calling the bet on the turn. Okay. I'll call. I don't want to get raised. Especially by that much. I just knew he was going to raise. That's why it took me so long to decide. 9-4. Obviously they're going to go all in here because... Oh. 4-3-8. Middle pair. I'll have to call the first bet. See, I'm afraid they'll go all in if I raise. If they go all in here, they can have it. Like, I'm just going to show that I have the 4. 480 is a huge bet. It would give them like 3,000. So I'm just going to show that I had the 4 and I'm going to fold. Now they only got 750 to add to their ever-growing chip stack. I should fold this. In fact, I am going to fold because it shows that I have some folds in my range still. I'll fold this. I'll check or fold this. Or let them do it. Oh, I've got another fold in my range. What? Suddenly he's folding all the time. Why is he folding all the time? What's he building up towards? Plus, apparently I've trained them to fold. Don't go all in, please. Thank you for that. See, it's a game of patience as well. A lot of people wouldn't like King 7, let's go. But generally when you're short stack, like at this level, you don't go all in unless you have an ace. So a King 7, even a King Queen is not very good. Wow, I actually was expecting an instant fold there. But it's fine. It's fine. See, I'm afraid of a 6-10, which beats my 8. Kicker troubles, but then the turn or the river could bring a jack, which would make us even. 6-4, no thank you. Jack 7, no thank you. Say that they've learned that I don't go all in. So they're going to keep going all in. Hit 5. I'll bet. If they go all in though, then they found my weakness. Which is grand though, because the weakness, like, when you're chip leader, you can afford to do this, because you can wait for the spots to go all in. Why go all in when you might not need to? See, I'll call this all in if he wants to do it. Give him a chance to catch up. Check. That's like the perfect thing. Three, 6. It'll probably fold, but sure, whatever. if like if they caught nothing there, then they were never going to call an all-in raise before the flop. Well, what are we looking at here? Nines and queens folding. I don't like jacks. Just fold. Thank you. Because again, they have an ace 2 and they're like, screw it, I'm bored of playing this, all in ace 2. And I'm like, jacks, alright, let's do this. And then an ace and a flop. Big dirty ace. And I'm just sitting there with 2 jacks in my hand going, wow. Now I have 2,000 chips. They have like 8,000 chips. Or 6,000 or whatever. And I'm just like, wow. This really just went awful for me. Seven jack. Ace 8. Please let me see a flop. Or that works either. 5-7. Gonna have to start throwing some bluffs. Okay, won't be bluffing that. They go all in so often that they just have to be going all in with like kings and queens and stuff. Like this could probably beat their all in range. Ace 10. See, I'd go all in with this. Uh-oh. Calling a pre-flop raise puts a queen right in their hand. Like it's something they would call a pre-flop raise with. Glad that happened. They're going all in, I assume. And I'm going to fold. Because if they go all in with an ace, I have an ace 2. Not wonderful. Now if they go all in here, I'll probably still fold. Because if they had an ace 3, ace 5, they'd beat me. Still want to show some folds in the range. 10-3. Check. Thank you so much. I hit a 3. They checked, so I'm going to say the queen is out of their range. They don't have a queen unless they're slow playing. 5 I'm a little worried about. So I'll show, if they go all in, I'll show the 3 and just get it gone. Okay, if they're calling, that's good, that's good. We can keep moving. Fold. Ooh, interesting. Now, there's 1,500 there. They'll be on 4,000. They'll be on 4,000 if they win this, so there's no point in even calling their bet because they'll have more chips than me. Yeah, I'm not doing that. See? By not doing that, they obviously had something or they wouldn't call that much. They're not doing it with a high card like. Ace king. I'll go all in. Damn. 9-4. Okay. David chips enough to be folding again now. So we'll raise it up again. And they fold again. See, tendencies. You gotta look at people's tendencies and see what do they normally do. And if they did that last time, what's the chance they'll do it again? Hmm. 9-6. I'll just call. I want to mix up my play, you know. Check, call, raise, fold. Just to let them know that, like, there are things in my range still worth doing different things with other than all in or fold. I just don't believe they're bluffing their pair of tens. Nope. I'm just staring at their chip stack. I need to keep above 5,000. This could be the hand. This could be the hand where it all goes to hell for me. They would have went all in with a 10 ace, queen ace, jack ace, king ace, so I don't put them on that. They might have a king 7 though. They wouldn't go all in with that. King 4 did call with that. 10-4. Dangerous. See, what do you do, like? Now I've named some ranges there that I'd put them on. So I'm assuming they have the king. But do they have a king 9, king 7? I think they'd go all in. King 4, you see, covers them on the other end. I'm going to call. King 9. There it is. Just what I thought. And they're going to go all in every hand now. See, now my range is just opened up to going all in every time. They probably have an ace, but sure, look. Let's do it. Maybe I'll get lucky. No, that was a good game. Lost that. To a absolutely crippling, that is. Anyway, enjoy the channel. Sorry I couldn't start off on a win.